Hey guys, this is Full Gaming Instincts here, and today we'll be moving on with our tutorial series on how to create a first-person shooter game in Unity. Now, if you're new to my series, I recommend you go and view my previous tutorials and then come to this one, so you'll have a more better understanding of what's going on and how we've arrived at this point in our game. If you were following my series thus far, you'll know that today we'll be doing a review of everything we've done so far in our game. Now, in the first tutorial, we actually added a terrain. Well, first off, we created a new project, you should say, and we imported some assets. We imported character controller, the skyboxes, and the terrain assets. Good stuff. And we created a terrain. We scaled it down, added a directional light, added multiple textures to our terrain, and some details with some trees and our skybox. Yeah, that was pretty much that, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and I don't really think that anyone got any sort of problem whatsoever. Yeah, so in the tutorial 2, I showed you guys that you can add an animated enemy and let it patrol around your scene using the waypoint. Our animated enemy is the soldier that we imported. Good stuff. Now, someone was having a little problem with the soldier. Now, they said that they were getting a bit of a problem. They were getting an error down here. Now, if you select clear, you'll notice that those errors that were popping up, they're gone, but the error in which the person was talking about was red. Now, I'll show you why that error was showing up. Now, we'll just go to the AI soldier animation and we'll just open this up, and I'll just show you guys why exactly you would be getting that error if you are getting it. It's pretty simple, and it's not really that important either. You know, once you hit play in the console, the errors are gonna be deleted, so they'll pop up again when you hit play, but they don't really like get in the way of the objective of animating the soldier, so it's not really much of a problem. But just some persons, I guess, like to keep themselves organized. You know, we created a game, we had no errors, so yeah, I'm gonna just show you guys how you can get rid of those errors in there. Good stuff. Why is this thing taking so long? Good stuff. Now, you'll notice that this for you guys is going to be shoot. As you may see, hold on just a second, I'll just open up this one and you guys are going to see what's going on. Now, this animation, your animation is going to be for your script, it's going to be shoot. Now, if you take a look at your soldier, the script, sorry, is looking for this animation, the animation with this name. Alright, so what you'll need to do is just go right here and just type standing fire, uppercase. Just remember that. Ensure that the first letter, which is S, is uppercase and the fire is uppercase, the F is uppercase, and you shouldn't have any bit of a problem. Just ensure that the rest of animations here are uppercase, the I is uppercase, the W is uppercase, the R is uppercase. Yeah, that should be pretty much that. You guys shouldn't have any sort of problem. Sorry, ensure the I is uppercase, the W is uppercase, the W here as well is uppercase, W uppercase, and the I uppercase. And yeah, that should be pretty much that. You just save the code in mono develop and you go back into Unity and everything should load up with no errors and so forth. So when you hit play, you'll notice that errors won't be showing up anymore because the script is actually looking for the animations here and it will find the animations here, so it has no reason to actually give an error. So yeah, that's one problem someone was getting. I know I commented below with the solution, but I know for this review I'm going to be touching back on this stuff for some persons who might be wondering, you know, why those errors are showing up at the bottom. Good stuff. Now, as I said, the errors aren't that important. Yeah, so after we added our enemy and we scaled it down and let it patrol using a waypoint, as I told you guys, you have to position the waypoint according to how exactly you want the enemy to move. So you want them to move on this pathway here. You need to position one waypoint here, one here, there, and so forth. Good stuff. Now in tutorial 3 I showed you guys how you can spawn multiple enemies in your game rather than just have all of them in the scene at once, you know. Good stuff. Yeah, pretty simple spawn script, you know. Just take the script, drag it on here. We create 2 empty game objects and we just take them and drag them here, and we just take the enemy prefab, we drag it here. We just set the amount the enemy want to spawn, the yield time, and the max time, and that's pretty much that. And yeah, in tutorial 4 we focus on animating our player as well as adding health to our enemy. So when we shoot our enemy will die. Yeah, that's pretty much that. It was pretty straightforward. Someone requested me to do a tutorial on a little more in depth on the animation aspect, where our player is going to actually play reload animation when we hit R and stuff like that, you know. But as I told you guys, this is going to be a pretty basic tutorial series that I'm making. But if you guys are interested in going a little more in depth, you guys can check out my next series that I'm working on right now, and that's creating a zombie FPS game in Unity. So you guys can check out that on my channel. Good stuff. Now in tutorial 5, after we finished with the animations, we went to tutorial 6 and we implemented in our game a timer system, whereas our timer counts down from the amount we set, and when the timer reaches a 0, well, it's gonna load the next level. It's a pretty simple script and no one has had any sort of problems with that, so I'll just move on. Tutorial 7, assets. Now I give you guys some assets here and tell you guys you use it. However, now we just wanted our scene to look a little more game-like, because we just added the details and the textures and so forth, and let's say we didn't have this water either, you know, so it looks pretty plain, you know. But I showed you guys how you can add the water. You just go import and you go down water basic and you just select import for the panels that pop up, and it will be located in your right here, water basic. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so I just give you guys those models to make your game look a little more game-like, you know, and I show you guys how you can use colliders. Now the box collider for this object here, because you can't really pass through it, there's not, well, the container isn't open, so that's the reason why we have a box collider on this here. But if it had, like, the container, one of the doors were open, well, we need to actually put a mesh collider instead on the object. Good stuff. As I showed you guys with the gas station and this container here, yeah, the gas station we need a mesh collider, not a box collider, and I showed you guys why. So no one has actually encountered any problems with that either, so I'll just move on. Now in tutorial 8 we created a main menu, and a load menu. Pretty simple, with the 3D text, pretty straightforward. We just created our menu out of a scene, I should say. Yeah, you guys, told you guys you can make your own scene, or you could just use this one, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, pretty much that. We just added the terrain, added some details, textures, multiple textures, and added some grass with the trees and skybox, and the models with some, and the text that you see behind. So when we hit play, you know, the render material color changes when the mouse hits one of the text. Pretty much that. Pretty simple. I showed you guys you can open up the code and change the render material color if you want to, from red to blue, white, whatever, you know. Yeah, I showed you guys that as well. So in tutorial 9 I showed you guys a little bit of the basics of adding in-game sounds to your game. Now that was pretty simple as well. The first method I showed you guys, you just go to your first person controller, and we went to the main camera and we just added a component which was the audio source, and we just take an audio clip from here and we just dragged it down here, and we just set this to loop, and I briefly went through these settings here, and yeah, we just hit play and the sound will be playing. Now the other method I showed you guys was with the 2 empty game objects, and then we put other component to it, which is going to be the audio source. We set the minimum distance and the max distance. As you can see, the minimum distance around the first person controller right here, and the max distance is pretty big. As you can see, it takes over the entire terrain. So I showed you guys I can deal with that, and yeah, we scaled it in and it worked out just fine. No one really had any sort of problem with that. So yeah, that seems pretty good. So I'll move on to tutorial 10. Now the score manager system, which I showed you guys to develop, we just take the script, create 2 empty game objects, and we take the script and drag it onto score, and the GUI text, we just typed in the score with a colon, and we just took the Crisis font from the tutorial 8 good stuff, and we just drag it here, and we just set the font size to 40. That's pretty much that. As well, no one really had any sort of problem with that, so I'll just move on once again. Now to tutorial 11, we added a simple pause menu to our game. Pretty simply, just take the script and you just drag it onto your first person controller, and that's pretty much that, you know. Yeah, and we went down to the main camera and we removed the components, which were the hide cursor script and the show cursor script. Just go here, remove component, and we remove the 2 components, and we hit play and our game pauses. Yeah, so thus far everything seems to be pretty good. No sort of problems with the scripts and stuff like that. I know some persons are requesting some other additional stuff. However, I told you guys it's a pretty basic tutorial series, so if you're interested in going a little more in depth, you know, I'll show you guys how you can actually go ahead and do that. As you saw there just now, that wasn't really realistic with jumping over the mountains and so forth. I'll show you guys how you can deal with this. The gravity settings needs to be set up a bit, so I'll show you guys in a later tutorial how you can do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial, guys. Hope you guys like it. If you do, you can give me a thumbs up. Do remember to subscribe to my channel and keep yourself up to date. And in the next tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to add a health pack in your game, you know. So as you saw, I'll just let this enemy shoot me, you know. Oops. As you saw, our health goes down. Let's say our health is at 40 and we need a health pack. We'll just collide with the health pack and our health will go back to maximum. That's what I'll be showing you guys in the next tutorial, so you guys can stay tuned. Do remember to subscribe. If you like this video, you can give me a thumbs up. Once again, do subscribe to my channel. Keep yourself up to date with my tutorial series on how to create a first-person shooter game in Unity. So until next time, continue making games, guys, and I'll see you. Peace.